everything that I do is like off of feelings. It's based on feelings, what I feel at that moment, what I feel like I want to talk about, or what I feel like I want to write about. Like I try to make the beat based around that, so it's my real feeling.
The pain hurts. Somebody please grab me the lighter cane. Check my vitals, I'm in denial about the past I aim. Blickies at the mic that I'm spitting on. Nonsense, can't live a great life when nothing's ever a promise. Hosted by the armpit, sky high, airplane cockpit. Feel like Nas when he dropped.
When I fell in love with music, I fell in love with music in the golden era, where you had groups like Public Enemy, Queen Latifah, you had MC Lyte, LL Cool J, you had KRS-One. You know, you had that whole Queensbridge movement. You had MC Shan and many different others, man. I kind of feel like hip hop kind of gave me a light when I was in a dark place. You know, my mom's was going through a lot, and at the time I fell in love with hip hop. I was living in my grandma's crib, and you know, she was looking after me then, and you know, she would work nights, so I knew that once grandma went to work, you know, instead of me going to bed, I would kind of stay up late with my big cousin Andre, and we would watch MTV Raps, we would watch BET, check out the different music videos, and you know, I just kind of feel like it was a great time once I fell in love with hip hop, because I kind of feel like yeah, it was that therapy that I needed at that time when I was younger, and I knew one day that, you know, I would just fully be submerged in it. Crisscross, you know, they were a big inspiration for me. I actually got the chance to meet them when we moved to Atlanta for like a year, and I was living with my cousin Wild Bill, and just, you know what I mean, I was able to meet them, get an autographed picture and everything, man. That felt so good to me. Like, it was just so unreal that I was standing right in front of them, you know what I mean, and this was my favorite hip hop group. So yeah, you know, I fell in love with music then. Where did my rap name come from? Well, when I first started doing music, I went by Von Sinatra Hellspawn. And like, that was just a long like name that just made absolutely no sense. But I guess at the time, to me, it made sense. But like, when I look back at it now, I'm just like, yeah, that didn't make any sense at all. So from that, you know, I kind of moved on to, I think, just Von Sinatra. And then from that point, I moved on to Inf, like Young Inf. And what it stood for at first was Evil Money, Power, and Hustle. Because at that time, I was a knucklehead. I didn't really know no better. So, like, and when I started putting that name together, I'm like, you know what, I need to find a different way to switch this name. And from that, it kind of went into me finding a different way to use Inf and then adding like something to it. So then that's when I came up with Infy, which is INFY, and it stands for I'll Never Fall Young. You know what I mean? Like, when I figured out that, like, and came up with that, like, it was such an inspiration, and it was huge for me, like, you know, especially at the time. And then, you know, of course, I still added the Young on with it, Young Infy. And I kind of stuck with that name for a long time. And then, like, you know, I started going through different phases in my life. And eventually I switched from that to all these other different names. And then I realized, like, man, like, I can't keep switching my name, because then that's kind of throwing not only my algorithm off, but then it's throwing all my fans off too. Like, you know, or people that really rock with me. So eventually, after going through a long list of names after Young Infy, I just decided to go back to Infy. And I added the Fastlane onto it because, you know, my big bro, Fastlane AP, shouts out to big bro. He got his Fastlane movement going. And you know, a lot of people, they tend to think that, you know, Fastlane has like negatives to it, and it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean? Fastlane is just for anybody that's just staying on top of their hustle, staying on top of their grind, and really working hard to get the things that they need to get done. Like, you know, that's what the definition of for me. Like, you know what I mean? And it stood out a lot. You know what I mean? And I know bro always been on top of his hustle, and staying grounded in the music. And so I'm like, yeah, you know, we using the music to get to a bag, you know, at the end of the day. And that's what it is. So I think adding the Fastlane on with the Infy was just a dope look for me. And then it shows that, you know what I mean, like, this is the circle that I'm a part of, at the same time doing my own stuff for my own label, and things like that. So I just connected everything together with bro, and I just kind of feel like, you know, I originally started with my cousin show, and like that originated into me meeting a lot of different artists, a lot of other different artists. And eventually I started working with my big bro AP, you know what I mean? And we started like years ago, man. Like it was I want to say around like 2004, maybe 2005. You know what I mean? I probably got that mistaken, but like, yeah, man. Big shouts out to bro. That's where Fastlane Infy came from. What's next? Well, what's next is my project Heroes Eventually Die. I got other projects out too, but Heroes Eventually Die is the latest project, and after I drop this project, I'm gonna take a little bit of a hiatus. Not from, I ain't quitting rap or nothing like that, but I'm just taking the time to get different joint albums done. I got a joint project that I'm working on with my cousin Show. Shouts out to Show. You can hit him up at your boy Show. URBOYSHOW. Just look him up. Like, you know what I mean? You can look him up on Google. You can look him up on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you know, whatever platform you're on or social platform you use. So I got a joint album coming with him. I got a joint album coming with my bro AP. We hoping to in the future get a Crew Rec album together. Crew Rec was a group that we started like years ago. It was me, Show, and Imperial. And shouts out to Imperial too. Love you, bro. We started that group, and then that group we ended up adding more members to that group. Shouts out to my boy Proper. Shouts out to Tech. Shouts out to G Wells. It was a good movement, man. It was a good movement. It was a group full of MCs, man, and MCs that I highly respect. We've been grinding. We've been doing a lot. Imperial's got a lot of dope joints that he's done. He got albums out with his boy Crew. They put together, I think, like 2 or 3 albums, if I'm not mistaken, maybe just 2. But you know what I mean, they've had songs played on Jersey Shore. Just recently we had a joint playing on the radio, me, him, and Show did, called Old Fashioned Love. You could call in and request that too on KMOJ 89.9. Yeah, man, so what's next for me is just that. Like, you know, I'm gonna drop this Heroes Eventually Die. I came up with the name of that project because I kind of feel like, you know, we all have heroes in life, but then those heroes eventually like just disintegrate, you know what I mean, or they die off, and then we become the hero. And I just kind of feel like, you know, a lot of people have people that they look up to that have done great things in life. You know, a lot of people call their parents heroes, but you know, all heroes eventually like pass, right? Like, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, your parents don't live forever. You know, so eventually you have to take the place of them, especially if you create your own family, and then you have to be the hero. Like, so Heroes event, it was kind of like, I put it like that so it can stand out, but at the same time it has a lot of meaning to it. Like, you know, because heroes don't live forever. You know what I mean? They don't live forever like the movies tell us. Like, you know, like Batman, he was a normal person. You know what I mean? So eventually, you know, he gonna get old and it's over with. Like, you know what I mean? So sometimes we gotta do everything that we can while we here. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the hero in us. We gonna do everything that we can while we on Earth. Because once we leave, we can't do nothing, and we can only hope that the things that we taught our kids and the things that we taught maybe somebody younger than us, you know what I mean? We gotta hope that that sticks. So, you know, Heroes Eventually Die was just like, it was just like one of them songs that was just a must, and you know, I had to do it. I had to knock it out, and I just thought it was a dope name for the album for sure. Salute.
It's easy being a bum, now being a hustler. Getting high off your own supply makes you a customer. Infy.